Good morning. It is Sunday the 8th of December and it is about 10 a.m. and I'm back in my car now. I've had a fabulous day with my lovely friend and we did bake quite a lot of cakes. So my suitcase is now quite heavy and full. So we got up this morning and had a long and lovely breakfast, and I've now taken the subway back out to the outskirts of Oslo where I parked my car. I mean, driving in Oslo is, you know, not for the faint-hearted. And also it costs a lot to park there. So I usually park in the outskirts of Oslo and then I just take the subway into the city center. So I'm now back in my car. I'm going to stop at the petrol station right here and buy a cup of coffee that I'm going to take with me home. And I also got myself just a little treat at a little coffee shop. Yeah, I'm going to start my way home now because later today we are having a Christmas lunch with my in-laws. When I look back at the footage that I took yesterday, I realized that I had forgotten to put something in that I actually filmed. So while I'm drinking my coffee and driving my way back, you can have a little look at the clips from yesterday that I simply forgot to put in because it was midnight and I was exhausted. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye for now. Everyone, we're having a tasting here. Ooh. How was it? Can't speak, I've got too much in my mouth. I get you. Homemade macaroons and amaretto cookies. Which one? Hey, how about this? Pretty perfect. And now for the lemon curd. Was it nice? Okay. Okay, there's nothing. Guys, you're going to be so jealous. Looking forward to lunch today. Hi again. So it is now Sunday night. It's about 6:30 or something like that. And I'm back from the Christmas lunch with my husband's family, which was lovely, and the food was great and the company was very good. So we were there for well, 3 hours or thereabouts, and then we headed back to the little town where we are from, and we saw that there were some shops open, and shops in Norway are usually closed on Sundays, but now before Christmas they open up for a few hours every Sunday in December until Christmas Eve. And you know, we just decided to stop by some of these shops just to get a few Christmas presents. I am very much aware that I am far behind this year. And I buy Christmas presents for 27 people, I think, something like that. 26, 27. So yeah, I usually have to plan it quite carefully. and I make a list and everything with each person and suggestions for what to buy them, and it's usually inspired by their lists, etc. But this year I feel like not only have I very few suggestions on my list, but I also have not really like started buying things. So yeah, I know there are quite a few days left for Christmas and everything, and I'm sure I'll be done because I've been in this situation before. But yeah, we decided to stop by some shops and get some Christmas presents, and I managed to buy Christmas presents for 5 people in an hour, so that's not terrible. But when we got back, I just needed to get out and go for a little walk. I've been like indoors all day, and it's actually pretty nice today. It's about -6 now, so it's a nice temperature, and the stars are dancing overhead and everything. I know it's probably not very easy to see and hear me in these conditions, but you know what, I just felt I'll take you on a little walk while I update you on some things that's been happening over the last couple of days, because I've been so busy that I had to put out like 2 mini vlogs of just a few minutes for a couple of days now. So yeah, I thought I'd take you on a little walk, and when I'm editing, I'll just cut this part if you can't hear or see me. But I realized it's pitch black around here. As you can see, there is a little layer of snow now, which helps with the Christmas spirit, obviously. But it's quite like slippery underneath because we had like rain and then it froze and then it snowed on top of that. So yeah, you don't have to use your imagination even to figure out how slippery that gets. But I have some little like rubber soles with studs in them that I put outside of my shoes just to enable me to walk without fear of falling. I'm an old lady now. But there we are. I mean, it feels so good to be outside. I should do this every night. So, as you know, on Friday, I spent quite a few hours in the chair at the hair salon while they were cutting off what feels like all of my hair and putting in some highlights. And yeah, still not very comfortable with that hairdo, but you know, I'm trying my best to get into it. And then when we got back, I finished sewing my dress and I'm really liking it. I have 2 other dresses the same pattern, and I really do like that empire waist. I think it's very flattering on most people. But I think my favorite actually is the one that I made as my Christmas dress last year, when I made it in a cotton jersey that was a bit thinner than the modal jersey that I've made this year's version out of, because this black modal jersey, it's quite like heavyweight, a bit more hefty than the cotton jersey, and I do actually think that it works better in a cotton jersey. Sorry about the noise. This is kind of the main road up to where we live, so it's quite a bit of traffic now in the Sunday afternoon when people are returning home from their Sunday events. So just, you know, please excuse that. After I finished my dress on Friday, I barely really had time to get organized and, you know, get ready and everything for the Christmas party. Yeah, it was a lovely event, but we were 170 people there, which, you know, when 170 people are sitting close together and chatting, you know, after a glass of wine or two, it tends to get pretty loud. So I mean, it was lovely, but I barely got to talk to anyone because I only got really to have a conversation with the people who were sitting like immediately around me, which was, you know, fine. And there was a great band with some really talented musicians who are like pro or semi-pro musicians, so that part was great, but it's very, very loud. I have quite like sensitive hearing, and my husband the same. We were sitting there with our fingers in our ears, which, I mean, the music was lovely, but it was just too loud for us. But, you know, it's not great when it's so loud that you can't hear what people are saying and everything. So yeah, we had a great time, and it was lovely to be on a date with my husband, because we never really, you know, get out just the two of us, because one of us is always home with the kids, of course. So my sister came to just look after them till bedtime and everything, and then of course my eldest is almost 17, so she's well able to handle things too. But yeah, my sister came down to be with them. If you can hear mooing, there's a farm here. So you can't really see it now because it's too dark back there, but yeah, there's a lot of cows. I woke up quite early yesterday because I wanted to get started on the road to Oslo as soon as possible. I think we started baking at about 1:30 p.m. and because we had to go shopping for all the ingredients and everything. And she and I usually have things organized like well in advance. We know what we're going to bake. We have, you know, made a plan, and this year things didn't quite work out that way because we were both so very busy. And she's a wonderful singer. I mean, she could be a pro. So she sings in several choirs, and she's really busy with Christmas concerts and everything these days. And I've been really busy with my like concerts and the kids and their after school activities and everything. So yeah, this year we sort of winged it. Which is very unlike us, but it worked out really well, and we started baking at about 1 or 1:30 p.m. Usually by that time in the day we're done with like one sort. But everything went really smoothly, and we managed to make 3 different like cakes. Okay, so this will probably be a good time to tell you about the tradition of having 7 sorts of cookies for Christmas. I can do a longer version later, but the quick version is that about 150 years ago, there came a cookbook on the market which stated that any housewives with a little self-respect would have at least 7 sorts of cookies or cakes for Christmas. And that became a thing. So the kind of the sorts has some variation from place to place, which sorts it is. But you know, quite a few years ago now, maybe 20 or 30 years ago, one of the radio shows did a kind of national poll to decide which were these 7 like official sorts. Most of these like traditional cookies or biscuits, I guess you could call them, are like butter cookies, like the ones that the Danes are so very famous for. So most of them are some sort of combination of butter, sugar and flour. Now, for my part, I really very rarely make any of the 7 sorts. Apart from maybe ginger snaps, I can't remember now whether those are one of the 7 like official sorts. So every year my friend and I, we choose which cookies or biscuits to bake, and there is only one thing for certain, and that's the fact that monster cookies is always there. We always make monster cookies, which is a recipe from a very old cookbook from Oregon in the United States. We have friends, quite a few friends in Oregon, and many moons ago they sent us an Oregonian cookbook, and in that cookbook is a recipe for monster cookies. And yeah, I have no idea where the actual monster comes from, but I would suggest that it has something to do with how terribly unhealthy they are. Because there's white sugar in there, brown sugar, chocolate and everything. There is also like lots of rolled oats and eggs and, well, nuts and all those kind of things, but yeah, but they are very special. I've never tasted any cookies that taste exactly the same as those, so we make those every year. But the others we kind of switch around. So this year we made French macaroons, which is one of my youngest daughter's favorites. So we made 2 different kinds. We made some with a chocolate ganache in them, with a little bit of hint of coffee in the filling, and the other ones were lemon with homemade lemon curd. So we made that yesterday too. Yeah, and then we made amaretti cookies. They are also made with almond flour, like blanched almond flour, so they're gluten-free, which is great because I have a friend who has a daughter with a gluten intolerance, so then I can bring her some cookies too. And they're very like chewy and gooey inside and crisp on the top, and they're covered in powdered sugar too, so num num num. Yeah, they taste very well, if I do say so myself. So we finished filling the macaroons at maybe 11 p.m. and then sat around and talked for a while before we went to bed. So yeah, I had such a lovely day, and my friend is truly one of the sweetest, loveliest persons I know, and we've had that baking day yeah, almost every year since we were in college together. So, and that is now one of the like only days a year when I can hang out with her for the entire day, so because we're busy people. So yeah, I have a very busy week coming up, mainly because my husband is traveling for work this week, so he'll be leaving on Tuesday morning and then not coming back until Saturday night. But you know, the girls and I will keep each other company, and yeah, we have a lot to do. It's still possible, of course, to leave me a comment if there's anything you want me to answer or address in the videos or anything. Feel free to leave me a comment. I love to hear from you and see what you respond to in the Vlogmas series. So yeah, thank you so much for following with me with my Vlogmas so far, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.